Welcome back to the channel, guys. On today's episode of Scully Productions, we have a 2006 Mazda RX-8. This is actually Sean's dad's car. His name's Luke. Sean's behind the camera right now. This is Luke, as I said, 2006 Mazda RX-8. I just went for my first ride in it. I've actually got a massive newfound respect and kind of love for rotary engines now. Buttery smooth. This chassis in particular is incredibly stiff, at least for what it is. The brakes feel amazing. The transmission, from what Luke tells us, is amazing. Let's get into this.
And this is the heart of the beast. No, wait, this is it. There's really nothing to look at under here, hence the massive plastic engine cover. So if you look, you see an alternator, your intake manifold, and that's really it. The rotary engine, you can see it, but it's way down deep in there. It is all behind the front axle, making it effectively a mid-engined car. This is the reason this car is loved, the reason this car is hated. This is really a very important part to the character of the car.
In keeping with talking about the character of the car, so as I said earlier, I just went for my first ride in any sort of rotary vehicle ever, and let me just say that when we first got in it, my brain was telling me like, oh, we're getting high up in the revs because of the sound of the engine. I look over and we're like at what, 4,000 or 5,000 out of what, 9?
Yeah, 995 around there.
So I've never been in a V12 car, but this was so smooth. Like, that is not a smooth engine car. The Celica is kind of smooth. It's not smooth anymore after riding in this. This was so buttery smooth, it was unbelievable. And I love it. And what are the specs, my good dude?
This being the 6-speed manual from 2006, it makes about 232 horsepower and 159 foot-pounds of torque. All way up high in the rev band.
Yeah, you'd feel like when we went for a ride, you feel nothing below
like 4 grand,
yeah,
5 grand.
4 and 5 grand.
Peak torque is 5,500, peak horsepower 8,250.
So you're way up here.
You're revving it, and it red lines at 9,500 or at 9,000. Fuel cuts at 95. So it really wants to rev out.
Oh yeah, it rips. It's not a happy car to lug around in. This motor is the exact opposite of this car's engine. This car's engine's a very lazy motor. It likes to stay down low in the revs. This car, it likes to be revved. It likes to go up high. What did you just say?
The perfect car if you're a lazy stick driver because you never need to shift it. It'll just cruise at 6,000-7,000 all day long. You'll never even know you're there. It's just so smooth at RPM.
When we were out for a rip in this car, Luke did legitimately cruise at 6,000 in second gear, which for me, having never been in a rotary, was really weird, but after learning a bit about them, it's totally normal.
Next up, we're going to talk about the styling on this car, which is a bit of a controversial point. Some people don't like it. I personally don't mind it. Some people, they love it. It just has a lot of shapes going on, and really a lot of triangles. You got a triangle shape up here in the hood. You can actually see from the inside of the car. That's kind of cool. You can also see these big fenders coming up. And with the rear fenders, it almost gives it a bit of a wide body aesthetic. Personally, I think it looks good, but not great. It also has some weird proportions with how tall it is, how long the passenger compartment is with that second door there. It's odd looking, but I don't mind it, personally. Braden?
I'm pretty much on the same page as what Sean said. I think it's a good looking car that has some weird proportions to it every now and again, here and there. As Sean said, I do think the passenger compartment is a little long. It's a little weird. The front's good. The front just has little weird things here and there, right?
Yeah, like, one thing I love though, they want everyone to know it's a rotary, but they're not going to put rotary on it. So you have a triangle here. I already pointed it out on the hood. You can see on the seats inside. In the wheels, each wheel is just a bunch of triangles. Back here, I believe there's another one right there for you.
Triangles around the exhaust tips.
Yeah, it's just triangles everywhere in this car. The shift knob is triangle. Like, they're not going to put rotary, but you're going to know it's a rotary.
If you go back and watch the Jeremy Clarkson review of this car when it was new too, he said very similar things. He said it was a very good car, which it is, but it was a very handsome car, which it is, but it's got little weird, not little weird, just little quirks, as our boy Doug would say.
Yeah, it's got some quirks.
It's got some quirks around it. Does have features too, but it's got a lot of little quirks around it. Something I'm debating internally with myself is these taillights. What, do you like them?
They're of the era. I'll give them that.
They are very of the era.
Very much so of the era. You know, this car came out in, like, I believe 2004 originally. So I think they look good on the car. They suit the car.
Let's talk about the wheels, tires, and suspension on this car. So the suspension is smooth, yet you can still feel the bumps in a controlled manner, I'd say. I think that's a fair way to put it.
Yeah, you can feel the texture of the road.
Yes, exactly. And Luke said it the best. He said that you can feel the bumps, but it's not annoying. Whereas the best example of the opposite of that is probably my GTS, where you can feel the bumps and it is annoying. The car kind of slams around. because that's not stock suspension on the Celica, whereas this is stock suspension on this car. This car is designed to use the suspension. Now this car, the Mazda RX-8, being a relatively light car for its size, I think, right?
Yeah, it's
fair,
not bad.
Fair to say.
About 3,000 pounds.
The brakes on this car are incredible, at least to me. This is a guy who owns a 2004 Bonneville with stock brakes and a guy who owns a 2003 Celica GTS with upgraded EBC brakes, so take that as you will. The brakes on this car are awesome. Anything you'd like to add to the brakes?
They're all stock, not even the pads. It's actually really impressive what they did considering the era.
It is very impressive what they did in the era. One more thing, guys. I don't know why, but for some reason I love the way the exhausts sit in this car. I couldn't tell you why at all. I just like it.
So now we're gonna jump inside the Mazda here. One thing you'll notice is that the doors, being a coupe with 4 seats, they're not that wide doors. They're just kind of normal car doors. And the reason for that is that it's not a coupe. It's a full 4-door.
Hi guys. I'm in the back seat of the RX-8 now, and apart from my knees being in the seat, which the seat could be up a little bit more depending on who's driving, I have lots of headroom back here. I'm not, like, even when the door is closed, I'm not trapped for space. I've got a center console here with room for, well, an iPhone XS will fit in there. You could fit, if I ate some of these would fit in here, although they might even, no, I don't even have to eat them. So it'll fit your phone and your candy in here. The material's nice, like there's still leather back here, there's leather up here, leather on the seats. It's honestly not a bad back seat. It has a lot more space back here than even the GTS does. And that's partially because of these doors.
And on the topic of door weirdness, they're just all kinds of weird. So you can see the seat belt is on the door. It's mounted at the bottom, not on the door though. It's on this slidey bit here. If any of you have ever owned an older van in your life, you'll recognize these. These pop-out windows, has those too. Manual, not power manual, not power operated at all. It's weird. These doors are just weird. But as soon as you close them up, more or less, once it's moving, you can't really tell. It just kind of looks like it has absolutely massive coupe doors. Now that we're inside of the Mazda here with my associate, there's a reasonable amount of headroom. This car is equipped with the sunroof. Personally, I would want it without, because then I'd actually fit in here with a helmet. Otherwise though, the interior is very nice. You have AC, heated seats. Obviously you have the sunroof there if you want it. It has this beautiful combination of this brown leather as well as this black leather, so you don't just have everything being 50 shades of brown like it was in my TL.
You want to see some of his TL, this video right here. It's old and the editing's terrible and we're pretty damn cringy, but it's right here.
They probably don't want to see it, but hey, maybe you do.
It's there.
50 shades of brown, you know? If that doesn't get you in the door, I don't know what will. For a Japanese car of its era and how cheap you can get them today, I'd say it's a pretty damn good interior. What do you think?
I think so, and especially considering, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, that car has a pretty nice interior for its era too. This, I would say, is just as nice.
My biggest gripe, piano gloss plastic. They started the trend.
Yeah.
They started the trend everyone hates now, so.
And it's only in places you would touch. It's right here, and it's right here.
Right here on the door panels, you can see it. Not as dirty, but still not a fan.
Not a fan. Looks great at the auto show, but as soon as you actually have to daily the car, it gets dirty all the time.
Looks great first day of the auto show. After that, it's covered in scratches.
Yeah, or first hour of any day.
Literally. Another thing, this car is very practical. You have all kinds of storage. You have a little pocket here. You have pocket over here for your change. You have your glove box, obviously. You've seen the storage in the back, as well as there are cup holders back there. There are cup holders up here, and a hidden center console, if you know to look for it, which now you all do.
And if you want to go back to a really, really, really old video, which is right here, that's where Max hides all his drugs. If you watch that video, you'll get why I'm saying drugs. I promise I'll never say it like that again. Moving on.
I want drugs. Possibly the weirdest thing on this interior though is this handbrake. Why does it need a bark buster made of rubber? You know, like what am I gonna be punching? What am I punching? It makes no sense.
It's a quirk of the RX-8.
One of many, if I'm honest.
Our boy Doug, the expert at quirks, would be much better at this than we are, but you know, we're doing our best on a budget option here. Also guys, one more thing, another triangle.
Yep, as well as in the seats.
Yep, right here we got them in the seats, both of them. Any other triangles in the back?
I don't think so.
No more in the back. Any more up here? Any more triangles in here?
No, but I did realize there's a lot of circles here. So obviously your climate vents, they're circles. There's a circle here. Your wheel obviously has to be a circle, as well as your 3 gauges there are all circles. So circles and triangles, people.
That's the pattern of this car.
Probably the last thing to go over on this car is the trunk space. Now, Braden, how would you say the trunk space is in this car?
Sean, I would say the trunk space is exceptional because not only is there enough room for an entire Braden Scully, but you could probably fit, I don't know, 150 bucks worth of groceries and me in here. You could probably put like a case pop up here and then stack stuff on top of it. I mean, there's space over here, a little bit behind the head.
Yeah.
Practical car.
I'd bet you could, if you had the 2 right bodies, you could get 2 bodies in there.
Oh yeah, no, you could get the right 2 bodies in here, but you'd have to be very, very experienced with loading bodies into a trunk.
Wouldn't even need the blender.
No, not even need the blender. All right, guys, and that is Sean and I's tour of Luke's 2006 Mazda RX-8. If you enjoyed it, comment down below. If you didn't enjoy it, comment down below. If rotaries are unreliable, down below.
Yeah.
So, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All right, now the real funny part is gonna be...
There, this will be, if you're watching this, this is probably the outro. It's Braden climbing out of it. Knowing that my dad is just over there. Oh, he's out. Okay, I guess they might not see this then.
I've had to climb out of harder trunks. That was a past
That
life.
is a statement.
That was a past life.
That is a new statement. I don't think that's ever been said before. Congratulations.
Nope. Thank you.